Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Elevate Your Success 101. And today we are continuing our 40 rules of self-care. If you listen to the previous episode, we went through steps 1 through 5 of our self-care rules. And as I told you guys before, we're going to be doing a series where I go over 40 self-care rules for life so that you guys can go ahead and elevate your success. So before we jump into today's episode, I want to give a special shout out to all of my loyal fans, my subscribers, my followers, everybody that supports the brand. I just want to say thank you. From the bottom of my heart, you guys truly don't understand how you've been able to help us take this podcast global. We are now global on every single platform that you can stream a podcast on. I mean, we're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. Man, we even on Google Podcasts. So I want you guys to know we started off as small, but thanks to all of the support, all of the subscribers, all of the fans, we've now gone global with our entire Elevate Your Success brand. So I have to say thank you before I dive into too much. I gotta always show love to my people that started from the bottom with me. So I gotta say thank you. Every time you listen to my podcast, it elevates my life. So I just want to say thank you. You guys don't understand how much the free support really does go a long way for a black business owner such as myself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in today's episode. As I stated before, we already went through steps 1 through 5. If you don't have steps 1 through 5, I want you to go back and listen to the previous episode posted before this. We talk about how owning your morning is very important. That was the first step. The second step is to understand that you are a product of your habits. The third step is for you guys to really, become what you give your attention to. The fourth step is to put yourself up for review so you can check yourself on a day-to-day basis. The fifth step is to remember that you have the power to have no opinion. Sometimes your opinion isn't always required, and you should take power of knowing that keeping your opinion to yourself can help you go a long way. So that was steps 1 through 5. If you guys really want to go into depth, as I said, go back to the previous episode, listen to it, take out your notebooks, write everything down that I said, step 1 through 5, and it's going to elevate you to the next level. So what we're going to do now is go through steps 6 through 10. We've already covered 1 through 5. Now today's lesson is going to cover steps 6 through 10, and we're going to officially have our first 10 self-care rules out of the way. So you guys should be taking notes on steps 1 through 5 and also taking notes on today's lesson, which is steps 6 through 10. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to give you about 10 to 15 seconds to grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and really position yourself to get educated, right? Because step number 6 is the fact that you have to learn something from everyone. Okay? So as we're going through our 40 self-care rules for life, our 6th self-care rule is to learn something from everyone. I want you guys to write that down. Number 6 is to learn something from everyone. And let me tell you guys how beneficial this can be. It's not always what you know, but we live in a world where it's pretty much all about who you know. Okay? Networking with people, asking the right questions, getting out of your comfort zone, actually pushing yourself to learn something from the people that you actually have around you can help you go to the next level. So step number 6 is to learn something from everyone. Think about your life yesterday. From the moment you woke up to the moment you went to sleep. Think about all the people you had interactions with. Who were the people that you actually learned something new from? Who were the people that you didn't learn anything from? You kind of want to differentiate yourself and at least strive your best to learn something from everyone every single day that comes across your path. Okay? So that's number 6, learn something from everyone. Number 7 is to focus on the process, not the outcome. Okay, so I have a lot of people in my space that come to me, for coaching, mentorship, and they want to get advice on how to really go ahead and launch their brand and become successful and start to generate revenue in this entrepreneurial space. And I always tell them to focus on the process, not the outcome. Because there's going to be a lot of trial and error when you're first starting to be self-employed. You're depending on yourself for income. I want you guys to really focus on the process, not the outcome. Sometimes you're going to have days where your business may not generate a lot. You may be at work. You may not do the best at the work job that day. You may have some family issues you're going through right now, and it's just not coming out how you want it to come out. So I want you guys to focus on the process that you're going through, not the outcome. Focus on the process that it takes to get to where you're trying to go, not the outcome that you get on your first try. Right? Aaliyah said it best. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. So don't focus on the outcome. Focus on the process that you have to take in order to achieve the goals that you really, really want to fulfill yourself with in life. Focus on the process from start to finish. What is it that you have to do to get to the next level of your life? What is the process that you have to follow? I really want you to focus on the process, right? And when I say the process, I mean, what do you have to do to get from here to where you see yourself actually being? What is the process of you getting from where you're at now to where you actually see yourself being? Okay, so number 7 is to focus on the process, not the outcome. Number 8, I hope you guys are writing this down. This is valuable knowledge and you guys have to apply it, right? Number 8, be strict with yourself and very, very tolerant of others. Okay, be strict with yourself and tolerant of others. Now, the reason why this is going to be a good rule, because you get people that say things like, I don't like people. I don't like being around people. I'm not a social person. I'm very antisocial. You're not going to get too far in life with that attitude, that mentality, and speaking those words. So that's the second part of rule number 8. Now I'm going to go over the first part of rule number 8, which is to be strict with yourself. Now, when I say be strict with yourself, you have to really tap into your discipline. Okay, be strict with yourself. If you say you want to save $1,000 by next month, be very strict on yourself. You're a full-grown adult. Nobody is going to whoop you into making your goals happen. Nobody is going to whoop you into getting your life together. Nobody is going to beat you until you get it right. You have to be strict with yourself. Right? And when you're being strict with yourself, be tolerant of others, because you're trying to get something done. You're trying to go to the next goal. So when you're focused on a goal, not everything around you is going to align with that, which makes sense for us to be tolerant of others. Okay, I'm being real strict with myself. I'm being real tolerant with others. And we're going to use this same example. I'm trying to save $1,000. I have to be strict with myself. That means I got to cut certain things off. I have to cut it off. Now, as I'm being strict with myself and I'm trying to save this $1,000, not everyone around me is going to be aligned with that goal. But I still have to operate in my day-to-day life, which means I can't be rude to people. I can't be antisocial to people. I can't be standoffish to people. I can't be stuck up to people. I have to tolerate these people, right? So that I can get to my goal a lot faster. And that's not saying that you have to open up and be the most social butterfly and talk to every person that comes across your path. But what did we just go over? We just went over learning something from everyone, focusing on the process, not the outcome. And now we're going to be strict on ourselves and very tolerant of others. Okay? Now, sometimes what that means is understand people are going to come into your life and do things that really may try to get under your skin. But be strict enough with yourself to understand that that is a part of the process. It's not the current outcome. Understand that that's a part of the process. You tolerating people is a part of the process. It's not the current outcome. That's why I say focus on the process, not the outcome. Step number 8, be strict with yourself and tolerant of others. If there's other people around you in your day-to-day life that you have to deal with in order to get through the day, just be tolerant of them. Just be tolerant of them. That you don't have to be their best friend, but understand that you got to deal with this person on a day-to-day basis in order for you to complete your goals and go to the next level. Right? So I want you guys to really be strict on yourself. Nobody's going to wake you up earlier in the morning. Nobody's going to force you to actually eat right, work out, and do things that are going to progress your goals. Nobody's going to force you to do that. You got to be strict on yourself. You're a grown-ass human being. You got to be strict on yourself. That's the only way you're going to make it happen. Mommy and daddy don't have $1 million in the bank, so they're not coming to save your ass. Sorry that I had to be the one to tell you, but I had to be the one to tell you. So moving forward to step number 9, the best revenge is to not be like that person. So if somebody in your past hurt you, scarred you, stabbed you in the back, was disloyal, dishonest, maybe it was some relationship stuff, you got cheated on, you got played out to the max, the best revenge is for you to not be like that person. That's what they're expecting. They're expecting you to be very tit for tat. And understand, you got to get your lick back in racks. We don't do tit for tat. So the best revenge is for you to not be like that person. Prime example, last situation I had, person dogged me out real bad. Things ended real rudely and abruptly, and I was totally in shock. And my first thought was, you know what? I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get my lick back. Nah, he gonna feel this hurt that I'm going through. Like, you don't just get to come in my life and run over me like that and do me dirty and break my heart. You don't get to do that. So our first intuition is to get that revenge back. Do what we gotta do. Understand, we get our lick back in racks. We don't do tit for tat. So the best revenge is for you to not be like that person. You want to actually just go ahead and flourish and blossom in the way that you were supposed to. Whole time that person is waiting for you to be like mean, aggressive, and operating in vengeance to get back at them. They want to see you go tit for tat. See, I'm too grown for the toxicity. All I did in that situation when I felt myself going down that path of revenge and living in vengeance, the only thing I could really do was seek knowledge. And when I started to seek the knowledge, I understood how number 9 aligned with my situation perfectly, right? The best revenge is to not be like that person that hurt me, but to be better, to be the exact opposite. That was evil. I want to show the peace. You know what I'm saying? I want to show my smile, me blossoming, me not even acting like that whole situation interrupted my process, right? So you guys gotta really understand, you don't gotta operate in vengeance. God gonna get the lick back for you. Meantime, down here, you get your lick back in racks. Don't do the tit for tat, because the best revenge is for you to not be like that person that hurt you. That's step number 9. I hope you guys wrote this down, bringing us to step number 10, which is gonna be our last self-care rule for today's lesson. And that pretty much is live as if you died and came back. That's how I want you guys to live life. Live life as if you died and you came back. And every minute is a bonus time. Every minute that you get is a bonus time. Really, really think about how more enthusiastic you will be about achieving your goals and taking care of your family responsibility, attaining wealth. Imagine how more enthusiastic you will be about these things if you died and came back. You wouldn't waste no minute. You wouldn't waste no time. You will understand that every second is a blessing. You will be operating at your highest level of capacity as a human being at all times. Why? Because you died and came back. You got a second chance. I want you guys to live every single day like, yo, look, I just got a chance to wake up. Every time you go to sleep, you can die. I don't want you guys to really let that shit go over your head. I want you to really, really take number 10 out of everything that I said today. I know you guys can do number 10 every single day without any help from anybody. You can live your life as if you died yesterday and you came back and God gave you a second chance to go ahead and flourish in everything you ever wanted to do. Because every minute is bonus time. Tomorrow's not promised. So I want you guys to really, really focus on number 10. Live as if you died and came back. You died yesterday and came back today. And you got a glimpse of how life would be. And you really, really saw all the goals that you never accomplished. But then God gave you a second chance. He woke you back up. How would you live life? If you laid there and died on that hospital bed, but by some miracle, God brought you back. And you realized that you died. Then you realize that you got a second chance. How would you operate? How would you treat people? How would you go about achieving your goals? What would be your day-to-day aspect? If you ever came close to losing your life, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I want you guys to understand that every single day you get to open your eyes is a blessing. Okay? Don't take that for granted because it's going to be taken away from you one day. So I want you guys to live your life at the fullest. That's why I make these podcast episodes, because I know everybody needs guidance. Sometimes it gets rough. Sometimes we don't know what to do. We don't know where to look for answers. And if you mean to tell me you can't put in 2 headphones and listen to the guidance that can take you next level, do you mean to tell me you can't take notes on things that are going to help you reach your goals a lot faster? Then you really don't want it. I've came across a lot of people that say they want it, but they don't want it when it comes down to putting the work in. I've came across people that say they want it, but they can't take notes when I'm shooting a podcast episode. I've came across people that say they want it, but they don't even apply the notes that they take from the podcast episode. I've seen people say that they want it, but they can't even read 50 pages a day in a book. So how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to live? How bad do you want a legacy? How bad do you want a successful career, a successful family, a successful relationship? Think about it. How bad do you want it? If you really want it that bad, wake up every day and act like you died yesterday, but you got a second chance today. This shit is not no game. Y'all got families, y'all got career, y'all got responsibilities, and a lot of y'all is not taking it serious. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you 40 self-care rules to encourage you to go to the next level. All you have to do is listen, take notes, and apply the knowledge to your actual life. If you don't do these things, you might as well not listen to the podcast at all. So I'm going to go over today's episode. Once again, we went through steps 6 through 10 on our 40 self-care rules for life. Step 6, learn something from everyone. Step 7, focus on the process, not the outcome. Step 8, be strict with yourself. Step 9, the best revenge is to not be like that person. Remember what I said. We get our lick back in racks, not tit for tat. Number 10 is to live life as if you died yesterday and you came back and got a second chance today. Live life to the fullest, guys. I want you to really write down those 6 steps. If you've been following our 40 self-care rules for life, you'll have a total of 10 right now. So if you found any value from today's episode, screenshot the podcast, post it on your story, give us a shout out, give us a review, show that free support, guys. Free support goes a long way. If you found any value from today's podcast, just go ahead and give us some positive feedback. Let us know how we're doing, and share this podcast episode with somebody else. Somebody that's struggling, send them a podcast episode like, look, I found a perfect answer for what you're going through right now. All you got to do is listen. I just want to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate the time that you guys take out to listen to my podcast. I know you could be doing anything, anywhere with anybody, and you chose to be here with me. So for that, I want to say thank you. I love you. Shout out to all my loyal fans, my supporters, my followers, my listeners. I would not be able to do this without y'all. Without further ado, that's the end of today's episode of Elevate Your Success 101, where we went over the 40 self-care rules, steps 6 through 10. And like I said, if you guys found any value from today's episode, go ahead and show some free support. Drop us a 5-star rating, give us a review, and without further ado, go out there and elevate your success. I love you. If nobody told you today, I love you.